EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the Sunshine State and Everbank Stadium here in Jacksonville. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season, as it'll be the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Jacksonville. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Going to the air right away, Lawrence. Open man, this is Brenton Strange, the tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
It's got to feel good to hit on one of these in the first quarter of a brand new season. They're hoping this duo can really make some noise this year. And this is a great start. A big play here early in the ballgame.
And the ball is knocked out. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And that one coming on his opening carry of the season. Do you give him a mulligan?
You would like to, but this game counts. If this were preseason, he'd get a mulligan. But this is for real, so not expecting that at all. Got to find a way to take care of it. I'm sure he'll get other opportunities.
Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Mahomes going to throw. They'll set up the screen to Pacheco. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
One down, only about 500 more to go this season. He would certainly welcome most of his passes this year going as well as that. Now that the first one is over, time to settle into a groove and begin the long journey towards Week 18 and hopefully the playoffs.
That boy showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
But it's caught on the right side at Smith. Down the right sideline. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Rashard Smith, 40 yards. And the Chiefs are on the board here first in the season opener. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Extra point by Butker is on target. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
Well, he gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
11. Hey.
Here's Lawrence to throw. This ball caught by Strange. And he's got this down to the 35. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
A short throw there to Strange. Stopped short of the 25, but that second effort got him a couple extra. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll leave him with third and a full yard to go. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On third down, they're going to run for it here. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was third and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's second down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Lisa 24. Here we go.
On play action, Lawrence. He'll get this out to Tootin. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3 and leaves him with 4th and 1.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. 4th down. Here's Lawrence. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. A gain of 3, second down.
3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7. At the 8-yard line.
Straight ahead, Etienne. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up.
Okay, ready?
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Here we go.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And they'll take this into the end zone. A touchdown, Jacksonville. Bayshore Tootin. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Perfect start to the season on their first drive last time out, able to find the end zone. Now we'll see if they can make it 2 for 2 here in week 1. And while all of that was going on with a sack, it appears, unfortunately, we have an injured player. While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this week 1 contest. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Bryant has it. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15.
I think he just wanted to give the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
So here's a 3rd and 14. Back to throw. Mason. And that nearly intercepted. Well, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out.
A gain of 5 brings up 3rd and 6.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Coming in, he really likes his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Red on red. Hey, son.
On 1st and 10, it's ETN. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3.
I feel like I can see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's the 2nd down and 6.
Hey, here we go.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. A give to ETN running right. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd and 8.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. 2nd down and 8.
Rip, 23. Here we go.
Now Lawrence. Thomas has got it. Complete. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard.
Let's go.
They'll run with ETN. And trying to shake free, but ETN cannot. The defense will stop him short.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
They're going on 4th down. Lawrence. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession in the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Pacheco gets it again on 2nd down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. Here is 3rd down and 4. Now here's Mahomes. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Look at the big man rumble. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Noah Gray, 62 yards. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. Well, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I'm like, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on 4th, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on 4th down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride, the offense, this go-around. Here's 2nd and 3. Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. From the gun, it's Lawrence. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for 28 yards.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass trade in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Hey, here we go.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's 2nd and 7.
Red on red.
Lawrence will throw. And that is caught downfield by Thomas. Touchdown, Jaguars. Brian Thomas, 39 yards. And the Jaguars are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point splits the uprights. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. this one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they'll have a little bit of time to work with. 35 seconds until the break. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's a 2nd and 5.
Here we go. 6. Mega. Yellow.
Operating from the gun. Mason. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. 3rd and 12.
45. White.
Looking to throw. Mason. He's got him in. Complete. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Bryant. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Ready?
And he quickly clocks it, and they're going to have a good shot at getting 3 here before the break. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. Butker's kick here is good, and that will do it for this first half.
17. Jaguars 14.
We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
From the 31, here's a 2nd and 8.
Ready, set.
Here's Pacheco once again. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now 3rd down and 7.
Come on, set.
Back to throw. Mason. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Rip, 23.
Now Lawrence. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first two throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
Hey, easy, route. Hey, tail kick. Soka, hot. Take right open. Silver.
Here's Lawrence. And Thomas has it. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on third. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Down the sideline he goes. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 53 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, don't fumble the football.
And a good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. Second down coming up. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. One more time with Etienne. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Travis Etienne taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Jags have taken the lead here this third quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game.
Chiefs 17.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during the series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
This 2nd and 4.
At the 41-yard line.
32 meters.
Looking to throw. Mason. And this pass caught by Gray. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11. At the 47-yard line.
Hey, confused. Black shot. Cut.
Operating from the gun. Mason. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 36. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
Let's go.
1st and 10 at the 36.
They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming
major focus at a halftime means had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Slide through. Black 40. Right, white. Claws red. Black ultra. Green jack. Ready.
Back to throw. Mason. That's going to be caught by Pickens. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Well, they'll say no to the 46-yard field goal try. They're going to go for it.
Down. Ready?
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
Partners, a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4.
11. Lisa 24. Hey, Soko, hot. Safe right. Hey, I'm gun. 11. Here we go.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. He gets it to Thomas. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags 1st down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Hey, red on the red. Hey, 11, Agate.
Now Lawrence to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Brown. And he takes a shot at the end of that play. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, go to zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Hey, easy. Route.
Another toe for Etienne. Still fighting for more. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 45 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it. I know it was a game, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
Well, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. And to the right side here, it's Allen. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Hey, we're up.
And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. That's caught. It's Strange, the tight end.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Britton Strange, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead.
And oh, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5.
Yellow, 43.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Looking to throw. Mason.
Here's one deep for Pickens.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
2nd and 5.
Here we go. Drill, yellow, 22. Blue striker.
Operating from the gun. Mason. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener. And it's a 1st down.
It's a gain of 17 yards. 1st down, Chiefs.
Red. Green back. Smash. Red. Yellow. Hut.
Back to throw. Mason. Complete to Bryant.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the 1st down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Touchdown!
George Pickens, 33 yards. And the Chiefs have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Extra point by Butker is on target. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Washington now brings this out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out when they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
I think as a running back in this spot, you have to understand there's not going to be a whole lot of room to run. And in this case, ball protection takes precedent over trying to make something happen.
You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground with Allen. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. A short throw there to Strange. And even though he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, it's not going to matter. That 1st down going to be enough to write a finish to this one. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. This is 2nd and 8.
Let's go.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Lawrence. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 14.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Hey.
Here's Lawrence. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 32-yard line. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion is likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
Feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, You make your most progress between week 1 and week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for the Jags, it wasn't always pretty, but they do eke out the week 1 victory here by a field goal. And they'll get another home date next week as the Patriots will come to town. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, they go down to defeat